The Pat McGann Show is presented to you by Tiege Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men.
I get there, and I'm like, yo, why are all these kids up in Excalibur nightclub? What's with all these kids? I mean, like 125 kids, like maybe 100 and some adults, and I'm looking around like, what is? I know what this club is at night. I know this is a party place. What these kids doing in here? Comedy and music and that kind of thing was always like something I really, I loved. Like I just love comedy. I love music and dance. And that was the thing that saved my life. If I had to fast forward, when you start thinking about what my life is like now, I make lots of money. I've made lots of money, but it's not about that. And I'm gonna continue to share the true message.
All right, very cool. Joining us now, this is exciting. We have a guest, Kareem Wells.
What up?
Hey, we're going to welcome in here. Kareem is a nationally recognized MC, entrepreneur, motivational leader here in Chicago. I'm not going to give your whole bio because I want to hear from you, man. Tell everybody who you are, where your journey started, and we'll go from there, man.
Man, I appreciate that. My name is Kareem Wells, from the west side of Chicago.
Yeah.
West side all day. Single parent household.
I'm from the south side. I'm sorry. I just got to jam that in there.
I still got love for the south side.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
You do know.
I love the west side too.
It's a Chicago thing.
Exactly.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
It's a Chicago.
If you had to distill west side into you meet somebody from New York City. I'm from the west side. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say, man, I'm from the west side. Henry on the Projects, Garfield Park, Cape Town, just all of the west side because we moved a lot. Back in the day, we moved so much and I never knew why. And as I continued my journey in life and got older, I realized they were raising the rent. Yeah. And so we had to move.
Yeah.
My mom was like, we got to go. We can't afford this rent. We got to go somewhere else. So
and kind of staying around in the same area-ish.
Yeah.
Now, did your mom, how did she deal with or approach it? Was it did she approach it like it was like a encumbrance or inconvenience, or did she make it seem like an adventure, or how did she portray it to you all?
We was, as kids, we was just like, we moving again? It was kind of like that. But she was like, yeah, it's going to be fun. You'll see new people, she was always like that. My mother is just an incredible human being. And she just instilled some good things, even though, I was a knucklehead on many levels.
I saw you give her a special recognition and shout out in your TEDx talk, which very cool, by the way, to be invited to speak to a group like that. And I encourage people to check that out. Go on. It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can check it out. It's called Get It Every Day. I actually got my GED in 2016 because, I was mentoring a lot of kids. And I was like, I cannot, go in front of these kids, motivational speaking, telling them, do it like this, make those right choices. And, knowing I didn't even graduate high school, like a lot of people already, they always assume that I went to college because of the success of my business. Well, thank you. That too. Yeah,
Simple as that.
No. And they assume it when they see the business that I have and, booking out 3 years in advance. People call me the king of the Mitzvahs, right? So I'm doing all these parties, booking out 3 years in advance. And they see the relationships I have with a lot of businessmen, like even Kelly Thornton, just a good relationship with him, just different CEOs of different companies. And people automatically assume, oh, he had to have went to college. And the truth is I didn't. I got kicked out, of high school for selling drugs. When you go
Strict.
out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are you selling to? The teachers?
Unfortunately, I was selling to the community, selling in the community. Anybody that came in the community, anybody that wanted to do it, I thought, I was doing the right thing. And, when you 15, 16 years old, you think that's it.
Well, you got recruited in a way, right? You kind of how does that happen? You meet people on the street.
Actually, I wasn't recruited, if you want to call it that, but it was a guy by the name of, we called him Chief. His name was Marshall Hill. May he rest in peace. He's no longer with us. But he saw something in me. You know, I had an incident happen where I found his bag, where I actually took his bag. I was coming home from school, and then he threw this bag into the bushes, and I saw him do it. And as a kid, you always looking like, man, what's up? I mean, when you ain't got nothing, you broke. And you don't, you got the same shoes on, same clothes and all that stuff. You like, man, I want something. Yeah. And one day I saw him throw a bag in the bushes, and he was running from the police.
Like by bag of product?
A big bag, like duffel bag, like that he threw. Small, mini, like duffel bag like that.
While he's being chased.
Yes. He hopped out of his car, ran, threw it, and I saw him throw it in the bushes, and I grabbed it. You know, when you're a shorty and you're a kid, you thinking, what's in that bag? Right. You know what I mean? Like I was like that. Yeah. I didn't know him at the time, and I took the bag home, opened it up, and it was just rows and rows of money, and it was these little bitty packets of aluminum foil. I had never seen anything like that, and I was like, what is this? I took it to my auntie Gail, and she was like, boy, them drugs. She was like, that's heroin. And a couple of things ran through my mind, and one of them was, how my auntie know what this is. And I knew to go to her because it was just the auntie. Everybody got that auntie or uncle that you trust. You can tell them anything. And I went to her, and she told me exactly what it was. And so I got a little nervous at that point, because of all the money, like seeing all that money rolled up and, rolls and rolls of money. Yeah. And then all these bundles of, what I later learned was actually heroin. I was terrified. And so I went looking for the guy. I spent a couple of days looking for him, and I couldn't find him. And then one day I saw him, and I took that bag up it was a two flights apartment building.
So the cops never found him, but you did.
Yeah, I found him because he's from the community. So I took that bag up and found him, and I said, look, man, I got something of yours. I was like, I need you to come with me. He was like, oh, I know you, because at the time I had a high top fade, right? I had this really tall hair.
And like Kid and Play?
Yeah, like Kid and Play, yeah. And he was like, man, wait a minute, I know you, shorty. He was like, we call you High Top. And I was like, what? High Top? I was like, okay. And I was like, I got something I want to show you. And he was like, and? He was like, what you mean? Because back then, you're not just going to walk with someone. I was like, come with me. And I was trying to take him to our apartment. We had this attic up on the top of our 2-bedroom apartment. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I got something. He was like, all right, came with me. And I showed it to him. He's like, man, did you touch this? I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, this dude about to kill me. I'm like, he's like, did you touch it? I was like, yeah, no. I was like, I touched it to see what it was, but I didn't spend none of the money. I mean, it was a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I was like, I didn't touch any of the money, but I touched the other stuff. He's like, you know what that is? I said, I do now. And he was like, he opened it, he saw that one was open. And when you have like that type of stuff, when you have heroin, you got to keep it cool. And you can't be in the heat, right? I'm a kid. And I didn't know that. In that attic, it's the summertime, it's sweating now, so it's no good. And he said, oh, none of that's any good no more. And I was like, I'm sorry. I
can't believe you didn't know to refrigerate it.
Exactly, to keep it cool. And we started talking. Then all of a sudden, man, he was just like, he just peeled off this money, handed me $1,000, and I had never had that much cash in my life. Never saw that much money.
Well, I'm thinking
in my
got
life.
That now. Can we find him now?
I know, right? Like he does this, and it's like, I was like, nah, I don't want it, because I knew like if I take that, he gonna want something. What is it he want?
Right.
And he said, no, take it, because you could have took it all. I didn't know who had this.
Wow.
And he from
at that point you had earned his trust.
Yeah. And then he said this. He said, yeah, man, we know who you are. He's like, you live in here, right? I was like, yeah, we live on the second floor. Like we live downstairs. I'm like, he was like, man, if you ever need a job or anything, come see me.
And it sounds like episode 1 of The Wire, like a season of The Wire. Like this is how you guys meet. This is where the relationship begins.
Money went fast.
So you ended up
going back because the money went fast. I slipped my mother a little money, and I wanted some Jordans. I remember what I got. I got some Jordans, some Levi's, and some shirts. Because at the time I was, 3 pair of pants, 4 shirts for the whole school year, 1 pair of shoes.
Where'd you go out to? Oak Brook?
I went to Orr.
Woodfield?
Or high school. Oh, you mean what mall? No, I went on Madison and Pulaski, man.
Yeah.
That's where that mega mall. That's where everything is at. You ain't go. I didn't go to no. There was no mall. That was, you go to the mega mall on Madison and Pulaski. You know what I mean? Go down in that little, and you can go to some of the other stores, and that's what I did. I got my first pair of Jordans. I remember. Like, it was like, man, my first pair of Jordans, and I felt like I was somebody at that time. Mm-hmm. And then to have that kind of money, I was like, not thinking what I was really doing was really destroying the community. I sold it to whoever and anybody. I thought, as a kid, you thinking, you can't get. I never got caught, so it's like, you're thinking it's normal. When you grow up in that type of environment, you feel the love there. And coming from a single parent household, my father, never ever really being in my life, no relationship with him. It was my mother and my older brother, Boo, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what it was. And I really believed that what I was doing was trying to survive, and it was wrong. As a grown man now, I know, man, that's not the way. But I did it I was really good at it too.
So you're on this one path, your life journey, right?
Yeah.
Early on, and then what takes you in this other direction?
Well, it took just my love for music. I had a love for music and dance early on. I was always dancing. I was, in 8th grade, I did the Wiz, you know what I mean? I played the Scarecrow, of course, Michael Jackson, Scarecrow, and I'm dancing and doing that. So it was always a love for music. And my mother, she's she was a recording artist. She was a singer, dancer. She was in a group called Coffee. They had a bunch of disco, songs. Yeah. So I grew up like that. And my biological father was in a singing group as well. And I just had a love for music and dancing. So it started there. That's really what I really love, rapping. And you got rap, you got dancing, and I was just in love with it. Like, always. It was always like that was the thing. When you listening to groups like you in the hood as a kid, I was listening to like of course, Michael Jackson, when they did let him go on MTV, when he probably see a black, dude on TV moonwalk, but it was mainly like, Culture Club, Pat Benatar. I'm just naming groups that as a
early
kid.
80s.
Yeah, and I remember seeing this stuff on, it was called Friday Night Videos.
Yeah, Friday Night Videos.
Yeah, and you watching certain things, and I'm like, like on the west side in the hood where they gang banging and shooting and stuff like that, and you turn on the TV and you hearing music,
and you're like, girls just want to have fun.
You're right, right. It's all of that, and then you start seeing groups like Ready for the World and all these groups that my uncles were listening to, and I'm like, man, Lionel Richie All Night Long, they break down the movie Beat Street Breaking. Those were the things that made me go like, like it's something out there that feels good. Other than, we didn't know we was poor like that back then. Right. In those days, I didn't think I was poor. It's just, you didn't have certain things, but there was a lot of love in the household. Even though, my father went there, but my mother and my grandmother, my aunts and uncles and cousins and the picnics and you always felt love. And it's like that to this day. You know what I mean? It's a lot of love in the community that a lot of people, they don't show. Because, the media, they don't care about showing the love.
It's incredible what you can get out of the arts, comedy, music.
Yeah, comedy. That's another thing.
And those things do dovetail, right? I mean, I know a lot of comics that have opened for musicians. You probably have opened for some musicians, right?
Yeah.
And just how people find some kind of comfort, some love, some kind of community in these things.
A true story.
Where would we be without that?
True. Right? I agree. And to be real, I was getting in the clubs because I had an older brother, right? So I was getting in the clubs early, and we were in a rap group together. I was I was like the Michael Jackson of the group. Like, it was like, no, you too young. Get over there. We don't need you. And then they finally let me in because I'm like, y'all did this song, but I don't like the lyrics. Let me write something. Let me. And I get in on it. Then we start doing shows. Next thing you know, we at the Cotton Club, and there's guy, there's a bouncer at the front door. What's my man's name? He passed away. He played in Green Mile. The big dude.
Michael Clark Duncan.
He was the bouncer at the front door. The MC was Bernie Mac.
Oh,
was
man.
the MC, and this is at the Cotton Club on. So this is like incredible
Dwayne was scared of the
times.
black rooms.
A lot of comedy. Like I watch comedy and music like unfold. Adele Givens is from the neighborhood I'm from.
Man,
Adele Givens is from the West Side. She's from the neighborhood. I grew up seeing her
brilliant.
as a kid.
Yeah.
So comedy and music and that kind of thing was always like something I really, I loved. Like I just love comedy. I love music and dance.
Yeah.
Like, and that was the thing that saved my life. If I had to like fast forward when you start thinking about what my life is like now, doing music, doing all these bar and bat mitzvahs, being called the king
Yeah,
of
how
the
does
mitzvahs.
this happen?
Yeah,
This
brother,
is
that's what I want to
unbelievable.
know too.
Yeah,
You're
so-
known as the king of mitzvahs, right?
Yeah, the king of the mitzvahs,
Yeah.
man. That was by accident. So my father had a lot of kids, right? I had my brother who I live with. We had the same mother and father.
Mm-hmm.
My older brother Boo, who was my lead DJ in Flow Entertainment. He's one of my lead
Oh, that's
DJs.
cool.
He manages all my equipment and all that stuff. And then I have like a half brother. Is that? But I don't like calling
Your
him my
brother.
half brother.
He's your brother.
Thank you. That's all.
He's your
Yeah,
brother.
I hate saying half brother, but I'm
That's-
saying it for the
I know,
sake of the
right, I
story.
got you.
It's a half brother. I'm only saying it for the sake of the story.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
your
at.
brother.
So I'm I would run into him every now and then. He would be sweating. I'd be like, dude, I'm at the Hyatt. And he's like, I bump into him. He's like, man, I'm doing this party. And I'm like, oh, really? You doing this party? Cool, sweet. And then I run into him again. And then run into me every time I see him he never said what kind of party it was. So one day I'm working at a recording studio with a guy by the name of Ivan Dupay. May he rest in peace. I just lost him last July 29th. And I was at that studio where my office was, even to this day. Well, used to be, in recording studio. And Ivan he did all the commercials for radio and television, so all the jingles and stuff. He was somebody that mentored me. And I get a call one day from my half brother saying, "Yo, where you at?" I'm like, "Man, I'm at the stew. What's up?" He like, "Man, we need your help. Man, we need an extra dance." I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "The events I be doing, we just need your help." I'm like, "Cool. Where is it?" Excalibur nightclub. The studio is 30 East Huron, Gold Coast, on the 40th floor. I'm right not too far from, Dearborn. I'm like, I'm on my way. We're all black. All right, cool. Because he sounded desperate. I get there and I'm like, yo, why are all these kids up in Excalibur nightclub? What's with all these kids? I mean, like 125 kids, like maybe 100 and some adults, and I'm looking around like, what is? I know what this club is at night. I know this is a party place. What these kids doing in here?
Yeah.
So I get in there, I see them hands in the air and all this, and I see this guy. I go up to the guy. I'm like, man, what is it, like his 50th birthday or something? He was like, no, it's his son's party. I was like, wait, what? What bar mitzvah? And now keep in mind, and we done fast forward some time. So I had my daughter, who I had when I was 17, right? My daughter, I had her when I was 17. And then my son, his mother is actually Jewish. But she didn't describe to me what a bar mitzvah was. She said, "Oh, I had this thing called a bar mitzvah. It was like a sweet 16." And we never really talked about it. It was like, we didn't talk about it. I was like, "Oh, it's a super sweet 16. Oh, I totally
And these
get
parties
it."
are often over the top, right?
Yes, and I was blown away seeing this for the first time, and knowing I had a Jewish girlfriend. I'm like, yo, I didn't know this was like this, and we got a baby. I didn't know how deep newborn baby. I didn't know it was that
So your
deep
baby's
like that.
Jewish.
Yeah, my son had a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
He had a straight up bar mitzvah. You got to imagine, I'm from the West Side. All my family came. All her family came, and this is at a time where
So he had a black mitzvah.
black mitzvah. Yeah. You can say that. You can say that. But yeah, he had a amazing party. But that's how I really got into it, and I started doing it for this other company. It was a cool dude I did it for. I like what he did, but with certain things he did that I wasn't with, and I wanted to do things a different way. So I was dancing turned to MCing. Gave me the mic. He said he had to use the bathroom. Gave me the mic. I did it the way I knew. The way I feel music and the way I feel people. I did it. It was more.
So it's like, are you DJing it? Are you playing? You're talking
No,
to them in between songs, or you?
I was dancing. At first, dancing. You had him. He was the MC and hype man, and then I got the mic. And I remember I was a rapper. I had opened up for people. I had opened up for Biggie and Pac, my group. We did a bunch of stuff like that, and so I knew how to actually command the crowd my way. Like, it's a difference between this. I need everybody to clap your hands up. Clap your hands like this. right? Versus, what's up, everybody? Put those hands in the air. Y'all came to have a good time tonight. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
And the way that I was dancing, the way that I connected with the people, I had a way that I wanted to do, and I got that opportunity to do. And I learned a lot from that guy. He was really good at what he do. I just had to put my soul on it and put what I felt as a MC, as an entertainer, that whole thing. And you fast forward that, I was forced to start my own company. I was like, and now I'm like thinking of names.
This is Flow Entertainment.
Flow Entertainment. I had to come up with it while I'm doing music for radio and television. Because Ivan at the studio, we're doing, so I had 2 kids. So my whole thing was, I ain't got to sell drugs. I ain't got to do none of that. My first check I got was for thousands of dollars for just saying SUV with a PhD. And Ivan Dupé put me on that commercial. When I came off the streets from selling drugs and all that, he took me into the studio. He showed me. He produced Boys to Men. When Boys to Men couldn't get Water Runs Dry, the one that Babyface did, Ivan remixed it, and it got black radio. It got airplay. It started getting, and it went multi-platinum. So he was producing music for which a guy by the name of Steve McKeever. He's actually one of the associate producers, one of the producers of 44 the musical right now.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah, my sister saw that.
Yeah.
It's incredible. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Everybody in this room,
it's in
you will
Chicago right now, right?
Right now at Studebaker Theater, you'll love it. But Ivan and Steve McKeever were college roommates, best friends, and they taught me about the music industry. Ivan, he taught me so much about the music industry, how to make money. You didn't have to be a rapper or famous to make lots of money doing voiceovers and things of that nature. I had no experience with it. He put me in that position on a commercial that
When you were rapping, what were you rapping about?
Oh, me? This was interesting. I never rapped about being a drug dealer. The thing that I was rapping about, I never cursed in my rhymes. I always wanted to just share a part, fun, party, have a good time. Not drink up party. It was just like have a good time type music. And it was always positive. I wrote a song based off the movie There Are No Children Here, right? It was a book called There Are No Children Here, and Oprah Winfrey did the movie. It was made for television, and it was about a lady from the projects. I'm from Henry Horner Projects, so I wrote a positive song called There Are No Children, and it was talking about, it was like, there are no children, why? Here's what's going on. It's like
Come on,
that type of thing. I can't remember it all. Don't even get put me on the spot like that.
You dropped something?
But let me tell you, it was about fixing the neighborhood, fixing the community, making it better. It was always like, and mind you, I used to be a drug dealer. I was trying to do better with my life, and I used positive things to make me feel better, right? About where I was living, what I was doing. And I said, I have to influence other people because music is super influential. When I was a kid, all that music was influencing me. The Michael Jackson, the Lionel Richies, the Marvin Gaye's, that stuff was influencing me. So I said, how can I do it and influence people of my generation? And it was talk against the drug dealer, the pimps, the pushers, that whole thing, talk against it. And I had to start living it, and I did as I got older.
But so as you were giving that message to them, you were also giving it to yourself.
Healing.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. And now as a grown man, I was healing too.
Is it hard to get out of it?
It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. It was not hard to get out of it because Chief did this. And mind you, I was making $30,000 a week as a 16-year-old kid.
Whoa.
So I want you to really think about that.
Yeah.
Really, and I've never, no drugs, no drinking to this day. It was about really having something in my family and seeing, giving my family something.
Yeah.
Other than what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. I just thought, okay.
Yeah, you could tell you've aged, like you don't use you don't drink at all.
No.
Don't smoke at all.
No.
I thought it was just all the Tej handling. I thought it was
is that too? I put a little on my put it on my face.
What's your favorite Tej product?
Well, it's always this box right here, and it was just like the stuff for my eyes. He gave me this new, and I just use this stuff for my eyes to keep my eyes. I ain't been using it lately, as you can see, but I don't sleep much.
It looks good, man.
I don't sleep a lot, but yeah, the cream for your eyes, I've used that.
You don't
my
sleep
mentees.
You don't sleep a lot because you're working. You just want to get up and hustle.
I have a lot on my mind. I'm from like right now. I'm in the works right now with $7. That's the Rock has a production company, Dwayne Johnson, and they want to do King of the Mitzvahs. We're working on the docuseries, the scripted, TV show, dramedy. So that's been in the works. I mean, since 2016, so many production companies have been trying to get me to do a reality show, and I said no, because I didn't want to exploit Jewish people. I didn't want to exploit anybody. I want to share the work that I'm doing in the community from mentorship with my foundation. I have the KWOE Foundation. I work with Champs Mentoring, MBK Chicago, Brilliance and Excellence. These are organizations that I work with to give empowerment, exposure, you know, and just righting my wrongs, really.
Yeah.
So the things that I did wrong back in the day, I know affected the kids that we see today. And a lot of guys like me, the things that we did.
You've now spun it into something else, right?
Yeah.
So kind of like past this prologue, I always feel like it's a reason, right? And I'm curious about this docuseries. If you were to do a show about some of these bar mitzvahs, like what's what's some crazy things, some over top, some stuff that you've seen at these parties?
It's so many. I mean, I can give you a lot of things that I've seen, because to me, and when I was young, I never saw parties like that. So just to see a party at Excalibur back in the day was huge. But if I fast forward to the, booking 3 years out, and this will be my 20th year coming up, I would say it's too many to really name. But I could tell you, I did a party once where they brought in fish.
Really?
A whole pond.
Oh,
I thought you
meant
meant
the band.
No. I've done stuff. I done a lot of stuff like that. I actually have a big one coming up. It's not a bar mitzvah, but it's a crazy party that's coming up this week that I can't even talk about it. I can't say what it is. You'll see afterwards, maybe.
Well, thanks for bringing it up.
I know, right? Leave everybody on the edge. But if I said the name, all y'all be like, no way. But anyway.
Oh, also, I had some huge news
Right.
about something I'm about to do, but I can't tell.
Can't tell nobody.
Can't
That's
tell you
right.
what it is.
No, they brought in a big pond, like brought it in, like
stocked it with fish.
a big pool. Gave everybody fishing rods, and everybody got during cocktail time. Everybody got to catch some trout.
Heck?
And then they
going on?
and then they
But they
cooked
were
it?
into that. But it
This
was
a bar mitzvah.
yes, and I mean it was amazing.
I wish I had a bar mitzvah. Like I think the closest thing I came was just a confirmation. Like
Yeah.
Right. That's what the Catholics have.
I went to like
confirmation.
dinner with my grandparents.
What do the atheists have? Just good luck. Good luck in life.
right?
Yeah.
Or a quinceañera.
Yeah.
I'm bringing that. My kids are gonna have a bar
Funny.
mitzvah. They're having a quinceañera.
Yeah.
But the bar mitzvah thing, I always tell people this. You can get caught up in that stuff if you want. Like I don't get caught up, and I'm telling you, I've traveled a lot. I've done some insane parties. But the most important part is they call it the mitzvah project, where they have to do a day of service. That's really what the whole bar mitzvah thing is about. My son did it. He had his mitzvah project and his service and all of that. So the most important part, I found purpose in it. So I call it parties with purpose to this day. And so my foundation and my company, we do the mitzvah project, the parties with purpose, the day of service with the kid. Like if you go on my Instagram right now, you'll see, I'm bringing kids from Highland Park, the North Shore, and bringing them with kids from the west side of BBF, which is Building Brightest Future Arts Center, right? Kids that I work with and mentor and care about, and I'm exposing them and bringing them together with kids that they probably would never be around. And it may be based in sports. We just did something at the Bulls practice facility a few days ago. And that is the real, I found purpose in it because I've made lots of money doing it. I've paid out lots of money to my dancers and DJs, people who would probably never see anything like that. And I found purpose in it about 10 years ago, over 10 years actually, where I was like, I want to really do something for the kids, not just doing their party and not just mentoring kids on the west side. How can I bring them together? Because they the future.
Yeah.
I remember what I felt like as a kid, sitting there watching Friday night videos and just wanting to feel loved and a part of something. And to be able to do that with kids, it's the most powerful thing. And it's a religious duty. If you look at what the word mitzvah mean, it's a commandment, a good deed due to religious duties. And I was already out there, and I was sitting in a meeting one time, and the kid said, man, we call you the king of the mitzvah. You the king, you the best. Everybody want to. And I was like, man, I don't want to be a king because I don't want to be on a pedestal. I don't need all that attention. But I understood what it meant when he said it. Like I had to sit back and think about, man, mitzvahs, and I gotta flip it and show the positive side to it, because people think, oh, Jewish people own the world. Jewish people got all the money. Jewish people, that's not true. Right? Like no, it's not true, man. It's not true. I'm living proof. I know some Jewish people that don't have it.
No,
I know some Jewish people like keeping
One of
it
my
real.
dear friends, who has no money, is Jewish.
And people think, they always talk like that. And so for me, I found purpose in a space that I never thought in a million years I would ever be in. I never did. If you talk to me about, I would, and to be in this space, I have a responsibility to the kids, period, on both sides. I have a responsibility, and we all do as adults. And when y'all using y'all comedy, let's make sure we're using our platforms to bring our children, because they really the future, y'all.
Now, have you always been welcomed in those spaces?
Always.
Yeah.
For who I am, I go just like this. I've been rocking the hat and the Jordans. Though I still say finna, and don't nobody have no problem with it.
Yeah.
Because if I'm sitting at their house and I'm going to Shabbat dinner I'm accepting them for who they are.
Yeah.
So people gonna accept me for who I am. That's one thing about me. I'm gonna be authentically me. I don't care what anybody say. Yeah. I am the most imperfect human being on this earth. We all are. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I respect everybody's space and time and the things that they love. I accept you for who you are and what you're not. You understand what I'm saying? Like my mother, like growing up the way I grew up, that was the only way I believe I made it out of all of the madness. And I'm still there giving back, and I'm still there trying to uplift and bring people together, because we all living in some serious bubbles. Like whenever you mix things together, it usually comes out great. Comedy, music, Def Comedy Jam. Y'all remember that, right?
Oh,
artists.
Yeah.
Like when you make, and they had an artist that would come on perform. They had a DJ. When we come together, great things happen.
Yeah.
The goal, I think, of hate, I always say like love over hate. That's my biggest thing. No more violence and love over hate. Mm-hmm. Because I dumb it down to that little and say love over hate, because everybody always say everything else is so complicated. We don't need
not at T. Shanley. It's uncomplicated.
Uncomplicated. That's right. I got the
Slow
shirt.
drop.
Hold on. No. I got the T-shirt. I love those. Are my favorite T-shirts I wear, because it's so uncomplicated. The world is, we make it complicated.
That's
and
true.
Our kids.
Yeah.
Our kids is who we have to influence, and that's what I'm doing with music, dance, beauty. The mentees that I rock with at Champs Mentoring, they ask for these products. I had to come back and say, man, all these mentees, he said, how many you need? Man, I need a couple hundred. They give them to me, and they go right to the youth. These young men want to feel good. When you feeling good, you look good, you feel good. It all plays a part. Right. We want to stop the violence in the communities. We want to make this a better city. We got to work together. Right. I never thought I'd be hooking up with T. I never thought when I met him years ago, when I met Kelly years ago, I never thought I'd be doing those things.
Well, that's the great thing about this city. We have a world-class city, and to be able to meet you, like just all of us coming together in this room.
Yeah. No, I love when I got the call and I found out what you guys were doing. He was telling me, we're going to build a whole thing to just put out content and tell what's going on in the city. I was like, I would love to do that, because I have marches and opportunity fairs that I'm involved with. I'm involved with every so many grassroots organizations throughout the city who are really putting in that work. And we've joined forces with, it's called Brilliance and Excellence. Y'all should check it out. It's a lot of grassroots organizations like Champs Mentoring, I Am a Gentleman, Urban Male Mogul, Urban Male Network. It's so many organizations that we're working with. Black Boys Shine. These are grassroots organizations who are really trying to make a difference. And to be a part of that, anything is possible. The things are changing. I don't like what I'm seeing in the city. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the hate that I'm seeing. When you make people happy for a living, I want to see joy, man. Mm-hmm. Where's that joy?
Right.
Yeah. And it's lost. And we got to use comedy to make people feel better. We got to use music, any and everything from the mud to the C-suites. We all have to do it. I really believe I'm living proof, bro. I am that dude that wasn't right. And I had to change. I had to get in the mirror. Each and every one of us, we got to get in the mirror and be like, I'm looking at what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not I'm judging me. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to turn to my left and turn to my right and say, do you love or do you hate?
Let's sing it together. I'm starting with the
man in the mirror. Come on, keep it real.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
And that's the
I'm
only
asking.
him to change his ways. Come on, fellas.
And what else? No message.
Could have been any
been
clearer. Well, listen, dude, your energy is insane.
I know, man.
It is
You've
palpable.
inspired me to stop selling drugs.
Yeah.
Good. However I got to do it.
Yeah.
However I got to do it, I'm going
What's
to do
next?
it.
What's next for Kareem Wells?
I would say I released a song on August 30th. It's called Believe. It's on all the streaming platforms. So I'm a recording artist too. So I'm all about that, my music and having a positive message. So that's out there. I believe the scripted dramedy, I think something that's going to come and be really big with
That's
that.
gonna be great.
The King of the Mitzvah book, like based on my life, and it's not about money. You know, first thing people always say, how much money you make off these? I make lots of money. I've made lots of money, but it's not about that. And I'm going to continue to share the true message. I'm also...
I want to hustle too like that, but I also kind of just want to find a bag in the bushes.
Nah, right? That
Full
bag
of
in the
dough.
bush. That bag in the bush
man,
started.
what about Bag in the Bushes Productions? You know,
But I
I
have
want to make so much money where stuff is not about the money. That's what I want to.
my man.
Well,
And
that's what it feels like, right? You're not working. It doesn't sound like you're working. You're just living your life.
It's like a calling.
And
It's a calling. It's a calling.
right?
It's I've made my passion my profession. I've heard so many people say that before.
Yeah.
Ivan, shout out to Ivan for saying that. Just really, y'all, I'm grateful because
Could have went another way.
yeah, in the mental, I want to just say this, mentally, my faith has to be strong as a Christian man. As my faith is strong because the things of this world almost kill me, even to this day. And I have a lot of pain inside that I deal with, and every chance I get, whether it's this platform or any platform, I always want to just inspire my way with the true me, the true who I am. That's the truth. And I'm grateful, y'all. I'm humbled and I'm grateful. For real.
Well, you are living life, man. I can feel it from you.
For real.
That's awesome. And this Christian man is the king of the mitzvahs.
That's right. That's right.
Right there.
And I'm
right?
going to keep building
We're
these
all
bridges.
together.
Let's keep building these bridges,
Yes.
y'all. We all have a responsibility. I'm excited for you guys. I really mean this. I pray that this platform blows all the way up and y'all just shine the light with humor and let's save our kids for real, man.
Yeah. And
See?
some of the adults.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Of course.
Don't leave me out.
Of
brother. I wanna be
course.
saved.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I think this is going to be a huge thing, y'all. I checked out the episode. I checked out some of what you're doing, and I like it.
Appreciate
I like it a lot, and that's why I'm really here.
Thank you for joining
talk.
us. I want you guys to
Great.
check
Real
out Kareem
Great.
Wells' KWOE, Kareem Wells of Excellence. Check out his TEDx talk. Check out Flow Entertainment. If you're having a bar mitzvah soon,
Yeah, hit me up. Hit me
booked
up.
for 3 years.
3 years
So if
out.
you're having a bar mitzvah in 2030,
Yeah, 20,
he's
20
available.
2028, 2029, we can get you in somewhere. But I have multiple crews, too. It's not
Okay.
just me.
Oh,
I have a
wow.
team.
You got it covered.
I have 5 crews I can send out in the night.
Hey.
Beautiful.
So it's there. Sound light and all that. But y'all, thank y'all so much for having me, man. I really genuinely
No,
appreciate
thank
it from
you.
the bottom
And
of my heart.
I want to thank Dwayne Kennedy too for joining me. Dwayne, what's you got any live shows coming up? I want people to check out your special. Go to Dwayne Kennedy's website, DwayneKennedy.com. Is that the website?
.net,
.net, .org,
.org,
and
something.
you got so much great content out there. But I would say you got to see Dwayne live. See him live. You got any live shows coming up?
And Kenosha, Wisconsin, Friday.
There you go.
I'll be back in the city. I don't know when I'll be back.
But
in
you're
the
going
city.
all over the country too. I know
Yeah.
you drop in New York City a lot too.
New York. I'm gonna be in L.A. I'm gonna be in Largo October 3rd, opening for Kamau. And speaking of bar mitzvahs, I'm gonna be in Los Angeles.
Oh, it's a lot.
Hollywood, so.
I've been there. I've done some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you check these guys out. I have some stuff coming up too. I'm going to be in Nashville this week, Atlanta, and then I'm going to be in Boston and Philly. Really appreciate everyone listening to the episode, and make sure you get some Tiege Hanley, either for yourself or someone you care about. Let's all stay moisturized, keep it uncomplicated, If you want to see some results, you got to develop a routine, a Tige routine. If you want prestige,
Use some Tige.
there you go. We're working on that. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Kareem Wells. Thank you, Dwayne Kennedy. Later.